Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of domain and range of linear functions. This is standard A.2A in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 23 of the 2024 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we have a swimming pool, and they can be rented for $110 per hour. The pool can be rented for either 1 hour or 2 hours. And then the cost in dollars to rent the pool is a function of the number of hours that the pool is rented. Okay, so this is very helpful. We can actually find what we need to from a few different spots here. So let's just think about this. If I've got a swimming pool, I'm going to make this an above ground swimming pool. Okay, so we're going to rent this. Okay, so 1 hour equals, what did we say? 110, because it's 110 per hour. 2 hours equals 220. So you notice it literally says it can either be rented 1 hour or 2 hours. That's it. So we are going to have a limited domain and range. It's only 1 hour, it's only 2 hours. It's not 1.5 hours, it's not 0 hours, it's not for 8 hours. They give us a limited domain and range, which means we're not going to have all real numbers, right? And then we're not going to have all integers greater than or equal to 0 because it's limited right here, 1 or 2 hours. Now, take a look at my A and my B. They both use the 1 and the 2 and the 110 and the 220. Which one's the domain? Which one is the range? This is where we can solve it a few different ways. Well, think about if we created a table, right? We can just kind of take our information. We could say hour, and we can say cost. We could say 1, 110, 2, 220. Now, typically, we would put the x on the left and the y on the right. Does that mean that the hour is the domain and the dollar sign is the range? Not necessarily. We need to think about, remember, our x, if that's what it is, and our y. Remember, our x is our independent variable, okay? And then our y is our dependent. And so what we're going to see here is we have to think which one is going to start the process. Do you come in to the person who owns the pool and say, I have X amount of dollars. How long could I rent it for? Well, unless you happen to walk in with 110 or 220, you're kind of out of luck because it's very exact. Or do you walk in and say, I want to rent this for 1 hour or 2 hours? How much does that cost? Well, you start with the 1 hour or the 2 hour. Okay, that's the independent variable. What you get charged depends or is dependent upon the independent variable, how many hours you want to do it for. So I'm thinking it's going to be the x and the y, which means this is going to be our domain, and this is going to be our range. But we actually see it in this last sentence. Now, it's written kind of strange, but we say the cost in the dollars to rent the pool is a function of, okay, so f of x. So the dollars is my f of x. The number of hours the pool is rented. So if I wanted to give this my x, I can say that the dollars spent is the f of x, and f of x sometimes can be used to represent that y. So it also tells us that word function of lets us know that it is the number of hours the pool is rented. That is our domain. It is our independent variable. It starts the conversation with whoever owns this pool, which means that our domain here is going to be the 1 and the 2. So we need these two right here. Our range is going to be the 110, the 220. So our answer is going to be B.